And Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar will remain in hospital for another 24 hours. This is in keeping with the orders of her physicians. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar was rushed to the St. Clair Medical Center yesterday after complaining of feeling unwell. She was due to be released today. A bulletin issued by her office says she's resting comfortably and is awaiting feedback on the assessments undertaken yesterday evening. Guyana should expect to be going to the polls in late November to choose a new government. That's according to the independent Demerara Waves online news service. The news service quoted Guyana's Public Works Minister Robeson Ben as speaking at a meeting of the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic last night. Ben did not give a precise date, but it is the closest that a government minister or party official has come to doing so. According to Guyanese law, an election date has to be announced before November the 14th in order for nomination day to be set 30 days before polling day. A University of the West Indies lecturer is examining the impact of the state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. We have more in this report.
Academic minds, politicians, government and ordinary members of society converged at the University of the West Indies to examine the state of emergency under the theme, "Is it a necessary evil?" One of the sociological impacts was revealed by a former senior lecturer who has been holding discussions with various members of the public on the SOE. Ms. Merle Hodge says she has found out from feedback she has gotten that women living in crime hotspots have been under constant psychological stress since the state of emergency started. Ms. Hodge says women live with the fear of whose door will be kicked in by the police each night.
The houses without a male adult presence and the houses with young males feel the pressure acutely. The right of arrest is stressing out mothers of sons.
While Ms. Hodge says it's not a good time for women living in hotspots, she notes the use of female police spokespersons, which she feels is meant to soften the testosterone-driven SOE, something the Prime Minister has also been a part of.
It's a very intriguing solution. It's almost literal window dressing. The Prime Minister is being advised by a bunch of eminently patriarchal and authoritarian men.
Race relations have also been damaged by the SOE.
The perception remains that the government is Indian. So when you see truckload after truckload of detainees being carted away, all African and many with their Africanness strongly affirmed by plaited hair or locks or big hair, it is easy to draw the conclusion that the state of emergency is a war against Afro-Trinidadians.
The island's tourism sector continues to be the leading foreign exchange earner for the country, but an official in the industry says there is still a lot more work to be done. At the same time, Chairman of the Barbados Tourism Authority, Adrian Alcott, believes there are several achievements that the island can be proud of. One of them, he says, is that Barbados is still a very safe place for visitors.
Barbados is about people, and we need our people to be in the forefront of any strategy that we're about. We invite you to move around our island, and yes, you're free to do so. Unlike other destinations, you don't have the joy of being able to get on one of our famous ZRs or minibuses or transport board buses and move around the island freely. You can walk from your hotel and walk up the Gap or walk down Rockley or go 2nd Street in Holetown. You can do that freely in a relatively safe environment that is distinctly Barbadian.
Mr. Alcock was speaking during the Connect Barbados 2011 welcome reception at Oceans 2 last night. The event is hosting close to 50 travel agents from across the world over the next few days. He says it is a change and a chance for those in the sector to sell Barbados and by extension their businesses to important players in the market. He says the opportunity should not be wasted. Berger Paints has seen a 15 to 20% fall off in business over the past few years. General Manager Asim Doshi says this is due to the drastic decline in construction activity. He says to counter this, the company has been innovative, constantly launching new products.
Last few years has been a very challenging phase for the construction industry, and we are basically suppliers to the construction industry, so it has also been very challenging for Berger. During this period, what we have done is we have tried to launch new products, Royale and Weatherproof Ultra Semi-Gloss and Weatherproof Ultra Flat. These two products have helped us in this downtime. We decided to go that route and come out with these new products because we felt that we have to gain some market share and also improve our performance.
As we go to break, here's a summary of today's trading on some of the region's stock exchanges.
A very good evening to all, and we endured another sweltering day here in Barbados and indeed across the island chain. Take a look at the high. We actually got up to 32.1 degrees Celsius today at 2 at the airport. The minimum temperature was also up 27 degrees Celsius at 6. Skies were fair, the temperature 29.2 degrees Celsius, the humidity 71%, and the winds out of the south at 11 kilometers per hour. No real change last night, just about a couple of points that the temperature fall off, but basically the same pattern. Now in the eastern Atlantic, first of all, Barbados and the island chain, we are still tracking a tropical wave that has advanced to around 36 degrees west. The activity is still to the south of 10 degrees north, not a whole lot of activity, but tropical storm Philippe is still alive and well, and this evening the center of that system was in the vicinity of 20.2 degrees north, 46.3 degrees west. But it is this trough that we're going to be watching over the next couple of days. The system is going to continue to on its northwestward track, but this trough is expected to move into the region sometime late Saturday into Sunday and is expected to bring additional moisture. Now, Tropical Storm Ophelia, well, what was Tropical Storm Ophelia, now Hurricane Ophelia. This evening, the center of that system was in the vicinity of 21.4 degrees north, 62.3 degrees west, or some 770 miles to the south-southeast of Bermuda. And incidentally, Bermuda has issued a tropical storm watch. Now, the influence of the system is gradually pulling out of the area. You will continue to get the southerly flow. Now, the further the system goes, the less the impact is going to be felt, but there's still going to be some residual activity over the northern portion of the region, at least for another 48 hours. So they're going to be looking at partly cloudy to cloudy skies and some scattered showers. It's gradually going to be getting a little bit better in our area. Actually, the ridge of high pressure is expected to be building in this general region. The winds are going to be returning to normal easterly and a little bit stronger, and it should get cooler. That is until Philippe reaches. I'll be back after the break. And welcome back. And the relief of which I spoke, that is going to be another possible 24, 36, maybe 48 hours away, as the influence of Hurricane Ophelia will still very much be with us. You can see some instability still in the northern portion of the region. Shower activity is going to be a minimum, a very minimum in our part of the world. The light winds coming in from the south still going to be a picture, so it's going to be another hot, rather uncomfortable night. But gradually, as I indicated, the system it is totally dependent on the speed with which Ophelia moves out of the area. Let's take a look at our prediction for the next couple of days. We're going to be looking at Friday through to Monday. It's going to be mostly fair tomorrow, which mostly sunny rather, and be prepared for the pretty hot conditions. Fair to partly cloudy comes Saturday, and with Philippe moving towards the region, we could see a marginal increase in moisture, which could generate a few scattered showers. But of course, we're going to be keeping you informed on the development as the days go by. Sunrise in Barbados tomorrow, 5:47. Sunset will be at 5:49. Take a look at the tides. The first high tide, 5:47 in the AM. The second is going to be at 5:37 in the PM. And there's going to be one low tide at 16 minutes after 11 in the AM. The seas, slight to moderate in open water, swells peaking at 2 meters, and you could see a marginal increase in swells over the next couple of days when the high pressure starts to build. The winds southerly to southeasterly, 15 to 35 kilometers per hour. Our forecast for Barbados for tonight, fair to partly cloudy, just brief showers, and tomorrow mostly sunny. However, a few brief showers are likely.